shiny Pokemon, something that every Pokemon fan knows of. Some of those fans dedicate their entire time in Pokemon exclusively searching for these beloved sparkly pocket monsters. Myself included, I've collected hundreds upon hundreds of these shiny monsters throughout my time playing these games. Recently, something new has piqued my interest: custom shiny Pokemon, taking these same beloved creatures and giving their shinies a whole new look. I've covered both Pokemon Omega Ruby and Pokemon Ultra Sun on this channel before, and today we're going to be taking on the same challenge in this version of Pokemon Platinum, where every Pokemon has a custom shiny. From things like fixing god-awful shiny Pokemon, to taking great shinies and making them even better. I'm going to take you on the trip through the Sinnoh region, showing off many of their never-before-seen custom shiny Pokemon that this game has to offer. If you guys enjoy, be sure to drop a like and subscribe for more, because I would love to cover more games and their custom shiny Pokemon. Right before we jump into it, I do want to say that this is a hardcore Nuzlocke playthrough, which the rules are on screen now, and I also want to say that I streamed this entire thing over on my Twitch, so if you don't want to wait for these videos to come out, or you just want to come say hi, the link's in the description. But with all of that out of the way, let's jump right into it. The professor just decides to give us free Pokemon, and of course, since this game doesn't have any other changes other than the colors of the shiny Pokemon, we have to choose one of the 4 fire types that are in the game. After 500 resets and absolutely no luck, I was starting to get a little bit worried. Now you may be wondering to yourself, what exactly are the shiny odds? And before you freak out and leave your comments saying, "Oh my gosh, I cannot believe this guy, you look at the shiny odds, you basically ruin the whole point of shiny hunting, disliking, unsub, doxing you, blowing up your mailbox," just hear me out. The shiny odds are 1 in 257, which yes, I know that's not 1 out of 8,192, but the whole point of this game is to show off custom shinies, so it makes more sense to make them more common, that way people can actually see them, and don't have to commit dozens upon dozens of hours just to see a slightly different colored oddish. Secondly, I didn't change these shiny odds, nor did I make these shinies. This hack was made by Team Subbit, which I've linked their Discord server in the description if you'd like to play this game for yourself. With those disclaimers said, and going twice over odds with no luck, surely we'll get our shiny soon, right?
Oh, we got it! 5? I don't, wait. I'm saving the game. Yo, we got the shiny monkey, 541 resets. Crazy, I lose that.
Alright, we blacked out. We don't have balls yet, so the Nuzlocke hasn't started. And now we can get a good look at our new shiny starter. In my last custom shiny video, I rated and compared each of these shinies side by side. However, in this video, I'm just going to show a quick side by side comparison to keep this video from being extremely long. Afterwards, we do check out the lake and find some blue-haired dude who obviously is just some side character there who doesn't look important whatsoever, and he's just yipping and yapping, kinda like I am right now. He eventually passes us and we realize that we don't have any Pokeballs, so coming here was kind of a waste of time. We then pick up the Pokedex and name our starter the iconic name Fortnite. Lucas then gives us his balls and the Nuzlocke has officially started. But Fortnite's only level 5, and I want this guy to make it in life, so we get to beating up every beaver, bird, and lion cub we find. But just then, we randomly stumble across this weird looking thing.
Whoa! Yo, I was just trading! Shiny Shinx?
Now don't get me wrong, I did call this thing weird, but in the best way possible. I love the normal, iconic shiny Shinx, but this minty take on it was so beautifully executed. After giving our little lion cub the name Chug Splash, we beat up every kid we could find and robbed them of their lunch money. And once we finish our rampage of making absolute stonks, Lucas walks us right up to the police. Do not trust this man, he is a snitch. However, we can talk our way out of it, and after identifying 3 clowns, we can get the Poke-Etch as a reward, and this leads us to start our next shiny hunt on Route 24.
We named it something. Whoa! That is a crazy shiny Badoo. Yo! Look at that, Chad. That is insane.
What an outstanding shiny. Compared to the original, this blows it out of the park. I instantly maxed out its friendship to evolve it as I did not want to be on baby duty, and its evolution did not disappoint. With our new type coverage, our rival fight was an absolute breeze, so we can rush through to Orberg City and head north to Route 207 to get our next Pokemon. Now this place has Pokemon like Geodude, Machop, Ponyta, and Psyduck, so I figured this would be the perfect place to get a new Pokemon type for the team. But the game had other plans.
But I'm not getting Psyduck yet. Oh my god! That's the best one. That's the best one by far. Oh my god, chat.
I was actually in awe when I found this shiny. How do you make an already good shiny that much better? We add Storm to our collection of beautiful shiny Pokemon, but I was still thirsty for a new team member. So I ran into Orberg Gate where we can 100% get ourselves a brand new team type.
Because you guys are gaslighting me. Yo! Shiny Zubat. That looks so sick.
This might be the best shiny Zubat I have ever seen. The iconic green bat just got a million times better, and I'm getting 90s vibes from this guy. Though we don't have any great counters to Rourke's rock types, so I wanted to try my luck at getting a Bidoof just left of here. And although we didn't get what we wanted, we still got another great shiny.
Yo! Look at that bird!
Hot take, but this is the best regional bird out of all of them. And we give this little lad the name Medmist. If you can guess the nickname theme, you've earned yourself a cookie. I haven't had enough shiny hunting just yet though. So I make my way back in the mines, got my pickaxe swinging from side to side, and I eventually find a bronze snake. And if you thought the jokes were bad, don't you worry, because the gameplay is even worse. I ran away from our shiny.
Why did I do that? Oh my god, I meant to swap. Why did my brain?
Certified dumbass right here, but let's move on. Right before the gym fight, Fortnite evolves into Monferno, and Medmist evolves into Staravia, powering up the team before our big fight. We lead with Storm to set fire to his rocks, but after he flings one at us, we retreat into Shockwave, who one-shots with Mega Drain. We paralyze and one-shot his Rock Snake, and Shockwave also destroys his prehistoric rock. Turns out I grabbed all those extra shinies just to sweep with the cheerleader. However, like my previous custom shiny videos, I plan on grabbing an encounter basically everywhere to show off as many custom shinies as possible. Back in Jubilife City, we get mixed up with the cops, but we're on the winning side this time as we team up with Lucas to beat up Team Galactic, and this grants us access to Floraroma Town, but more importantly, Valley Windworks. This is the place that grants us access to our well-needed water type, but rather than a Buizel, we got a Shellos.
Oh, but I am gonna like that. I mean, I said Pachirisu. Yeah, that whatever that is. I said Pachirisu is gonna be Orpal, but that's also an Orpal gamer.
But it's a water type, so I'll take it. It's not a bad shiny, not a great one, but hey, I'll pop a slurp juice to that. Some redhead was holding up all the work here, so after a little bit of struggle, we did beat her up and have Chug Splash evolve after the fact. We return the piece yet again, and we meet this lost lady in Eternal Forest. However, this is not all bad news, as with the help of her forcing double battles, we were able to find a pink thing.
Get out of here. Whoa! That is a shiny Silcoon.
Wow, this really looks like Lego piece 32557, but I have some bad news. Our starter, one of the very few fire types in the game, is already gone, and he was gone so soon. May our fallen soldier rest in peace. But out of sight, out of mind. Look, our Lego piece just turned into a beautiful butterfly. Actually a nice shiny too, props. Route 211 is up next, and after a little bit of time, we find a really buff Smurf.
Oh, yo! Shiny Machop. That's a Smurf and a half right there, bro.
Look at those muscles. Wait a minute, that blue hair. Okay, this is really just a segment to say that I named him Floss. And with that done, we can take on the Grass Gym Leader, and we might have burned all of our Pokemon to a crisp. But hey, our bat evolved in the process, so it's not all bad. However, things are about to get bad. The purple-haired chick is up to shenanigans, and of course we had to be the ones to deal with her. Though we came out victorious, it did come with a price.
Oh no, Chug Splash.
Chug Splash did not deserve this death. To a stupid, frickin' skunk. Alright, enough of this, let's move on. We rush into this haunted house where we find an orange glob of goo inside.
Oh, yo! That's a shiny Ghastly.
But all this running around is exhausting. I sure would love a Chug Jug right now. Okay, let's keep going. Mommy gave us an egg, and I don't know if the egg is always shiny or not, but we hatched a shiny Togepi on our first try.
Shiny Togepi! Yo, that was first egg.
Lil Whip, in fact, looks much better than the normal sparkly egg. So although we won't be using it now, he's gonna come in clutch later. But we've got more shinies to find. Starting with the unfortunate yellow Bronzor in Wayward Cave.
Are you kidding me? What do we think about that shiny, bro? What do we think about that shiny? I think it's kind of silly, low-key.
Really wanted a Gibble, but Nuzlocke rules are Nuzlocke rules. In the meantime, let's see what Route 206 has for us.
Oh, yo, look at that. That's a shiny Gligar if I've ever seen one.
Not to be a buzzkill, but Minipod over here is never growing up to be a big pot. The Razorfang that Minis needs to evolve isn't accessible until post-game. And let's just keep the bad news rolling. Shockwave over here gets blown up by a damn pebble.
No way, it just used Explosion.
Roserade is one of my favorite Gen 4 Pokemon, and I was heartbroken when this happened. Them damn hikers. But as the saying goes, an eye for an eye. In Mount Coronet, we can pick up a Man of Stone.
Oh, yo, that was like 227, bro.
Or a Llama of Stone, whatever works. Heart Home City is the heart home of our next shiny, being everyone's favorite Eevee. This random lady just decides to give us one, but it looks a little bit different.
Look at that Eevee, chat.
What do we think, chat? Better or worse than the original? I kinda like it, personally. Now the real question is, what do we evolve it into? Flareon to add another fire type to our roster. Vaporeon if we're feeling lonely. Okay, who put that in the script? No, I'm not reading that. We evolve it into Espeon, my favorite evolution, and oh my god, this thing is red. A bit too red. We evolve Lil Whip too, but I'm not gonna lie, ew. However, we do need to get ourselves a new Pokemon, as we've got nothing for Fantina as it stands right now. So we find ourselves a Barrel on Route 208 who's gonna let us get this dub, but we aren't leaving just yet. You may recall that we never found a shiny on the very first route of the game. That's because we were saving it for a moment like this. So because of Dupe's Claws, we can't actually get anything new on Route 1, but chat suggested we do something called Token that route, which will allow us to replace that route's encounter with an encounter somewhere else. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I just wanted to do this so I could get a shiny Ralts, and I bent the rules a little bit so I could shiny hunt one, but damn, did they make me work for it. I'm pretty sure we found like 5 other shinies during the process, and it was over 1,300 encounters. But we did finally find our prize.
Oh, we got it! Oh my god, 1,374 encounters. Oh my god, it's over, chat.
Now I'm just saying, if you took the headpiece of this Ralts, it would make a great chili bowl. Okay, I know that line wasn't great, but like, it was either that or this thing was hot like chili, and there's no chance I'm calling a Pokemon that is semi-related to Gardevoir hot. Oh, also, the 90s evolved. Anyways, let's go grab another gym badge. We bite the ghost, one-shotting it. We bite another ghost and take a lot of damage back, so we switch into the dub. But he doesn't actually catch the dub, and rather catches the death. So we send in our Chug Jug to regen HP, and would you look at that? It died too. We send in 90s to avenge the fallen, and minis can take down the Haunter, which won us our 3rd gym badge, but at the cost of 2 Pokemon. We meet up with our rival, and of course he's just annoying as ever, as during our fight he takes down Slurp Juice with his Penguin, and forces us to use cheese strats with sand attacks, but we do eventually end up winning. In my defense, this is my first ever time actually playing Pokemon Platinum. Other than BDSP, I've got no Sinnoh experience, and for a good reason. This region sucks. Now that I've offended half my viewer base, let's move on. We increase the size of our chili bowl and make our way to Route 215, where I'd like to introduce you all to our friend Kevin. She will not be used. Our team got a bit roughed up during our shiny hunting session. Surely the smart move would be to go and heal, and we're fighting a trainer. Okay, so far easy peasy. Then this thing comes out. Minis doesn't even do half with a super effective feint attack, and Storm can't handle 2 hits. Surely Vic Royale, the Bronzon, can help. Oh, he's dead. It's okay, we can safely switch into 90s, and he's dead too. Okay, minis can take this now, right? Oh, no, he's dead too. Losing 90s there hurt. Such a good Pokemon, and an amazing shiny. Seeing it move to the afterlife was hard. Oh yeah, those other ones, they hurt too. Oh hey, look who's actually getting used. Oh, okay. Okay, so we just lost a lot of Pokemon. So now let's go get a bunch of new ones. We make it to Route 214, but rather than grabbing a new shiny, we go into the Ruin Maniac Cave, which only has Geodude.
Whoa! Dude, Crystal Onyx is overrated, bro. We got Crystal Geodude up in the cut, bro.
This impulsive rock actually killed our pet llama during its rollout rampage, but a rock for a rock is a trade I'm okay with. Now that we have Geodude, we can guarantee ourselves either Houndour or Rhyhorn on Route 214, which both evolve into great Pokemon, so I'm cool with either or.
Yo! Look at that Rhyhorn, 563 encounters.
And I don't know about y'all, but when I saw this beautiful shiny Rhyhorn, I knew I had to cling her. Okay, that was terrible. But moving on to Valor Lakefront, just roll the clip.
I had a blast. Yo! Shiny Houndour, 127 encounters. But I think we should be good. I didn't, by the way, Caleb, no. Okay. No, it used Roar, are you kidding me? Oh, I wish I didn't know it knew Roar. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Failing one of the very few fire types in the region will probably hurt us later down the line, but we're living in the present, so who cares? Let's go fight a gym leader. Maylene leads with Meditite and we lead with Storm, but switch into Med Mist to proc Intimidate, which doesn't matter because a crit Rock Tomb one-shots us. Lil Whip comes in and yawns before we switch into Ruby and drop this little guy with 2 Swifts. Macho comes and gets some damage done on us, but not enough to take us out. Then finally, out comes the Lucario. We switch into Lego to paralyze it and make it fall in love with us before spamming Gust, winning the battle and our 4th gym badge. To celebrate this big moment in history, Floss hit the gym and got ripped. Then I recalled that there's a certain cybernetic ducky that is given to us as a gift, which means after 650 resets, we can get a new shiny.
Oh, there it is! Yo, look at that guy! Look at that guy, 642 encounters!
Heading towards our next gym badge, we make a quick stop to Route 213 to pick up a shiny bird, and I mean, hey, shiny is a shiny, but it's also a Chatot who's already gotten more screen time than it deserves, so let's move on. After stopping in Pastoria City, we can make the jump to Route 212 and pick up the hidden Dawnstone buried in the mud. You guys ever tried to mix Dawnstone with your chili before? I haven't, but damn, that Gallade looks sick. But a Dawnstone isn't the only thing that Route 212 is going to give us. I present to you this red thing. This is when I realized that we forgot to deal with Team Galactic. So now that we're done that, we can head to the next Oh, great. It's okay though. Klinger takes down his bird, Storm deals with the flower cheerleader, and Lego deals with... oh, another crit. I'm getting really sick of these. Ruby and Chili are able to clean up, and I wish I could get a little bit more upset, but it is just a Beautifly, so... In attempts to replace one bug with another, we head into the Great Marsh and stumble upon a gorgeous dragonfly. But it didn't want to be friends. But you know what? Out of sight, out of mind. Let's go beat up Wake, but not before feeding our muscle man a bunch of steroids, causing him to grow another 2 arms. Alright, you water weasel, let's see what you've got. He leads with everyone's favorite flying fish, and we drop it down to red with a crit Psybeam as we get dropped to half from Bite. We stay in as he heals and do some chip with Psybeam before switching into Floss. He takes some damage and drops it low, but this flying fish packs a punch, so we gotta switch again. Spicy Flop, the Quagsire comes in and finishes the job and makes the weasel who wants a hug go nap time, forcing another potion before Chili swoops in and saves the day, finishing the job and taking out Quagsire. Now we have 5 gym badges, which grants us permission to meet up with Mommy over here, and she gives us her super secret potion, but I gotta use it on these quacker guys. We make it to this quiet little place called Celestic Town, where we stare at this wall a bunch until Gramps over here picks a fight, but he wasn't much of a problem. And we got Surf as a reward, which means we can get a bunch of new encounters. Starting with Route 218, where we find ourselves some blue-haired dude with the last name Mime, but we force him to marry, and now he goes by Mr. Jelly. Upon entering Conolave City, our rival catches us off guard yet again and demands another fight. Historaptor causes some problems, so we make it take a nap, and he switches into Roserade, who gets one-shot by Storm. Tough luck, I guess. Quagsire was able to handle our rivals Empoleon. Machamp one-shot the napping bird. We did almost lose Lil Whip, but he tanked some hits and dealt with Heracross, and an Earthquake from Spicy Flop was able to handle Rapidash. So for once, we earned a victory unscathed. These rival battles are always so stressful, but we had a lot of counters on our team, so you could say that we got lucky. Right before we challenge Byron, the 6th gym leader, Impulse evolves into a diamond from Minecraft. And Storm evolved into Rapidash, which, let's be real, was anybody really surprised how this one was gonna look? Still a 10 out of 10 though. And with that, we decide to throw hands with this man. Storm one-shots his Magneton, Spicy Flop one-shots his Steelix, and does a good amount of damage to the Bastiodon. But just then, thankfully Floss is able to come in for the revenge kill, but Quagsire will be missed. We now have 6 badges to our name, which means we get to do epic lore. But before we do, look how sick this shiny Rhydon D's nuts looks. We jump on some stranger's boat and decide to buddy up with another stranger and travel into super dark, scary, spooky cave. And during our exploration, we do end up losing Impulse to yet another crit. That damn stupid bird. But we find a shiny stone and can evolve Lil Whip to get our own stupid bird, who looks great in my opinion. Next up, we meet up with the professor and hear a bomb go off. So, us being the curious child we are, we decide to go get that checked out. Turns out they were just trying to kill a bunch of fish. Why? We beat up some blue-haired guy at one of the lakes, beat up a red-haired girl at another one of the lakes, and now we gotta go up north to Canada since the bad guys are at the northern lake now. We also find this oddly colored weasel who we scooped up and named Peter G. Finally, we've made it to the capital of Canada, Snow Point City, where we see a bunch of things like colored money, loonies and toonies. We even saw a moose loose aboot the hoose. I feel like only Canadians know what I just said. But moving on, we can challenge Candace. Don't make the joke. Don't make the joke. Right before we do, however, we were able to evolve Klinger into Rhyperior. Look how badass this guy looks. Okay, let's fight. She leads Sneasel, who gets one shot by Storm. We switch into Floss to deal with Piloswine. Klinger hits through a double team spamming Frostlass, and Storm one-shots the former president of Canada, Mrs. Obama. And just like that, we've beaten Candace did not put up a challenge, and we were able to earn our 7th gym badge. So it turns out I was wrong about the bad guys being at the North Lake, and we actually got to go infiltrate their base. This was just a bunch of gunfighting though, a few boss battles. They weren't a challenge like whatsoever, so we can just scoop up the Master Ball and free the lake spirits. Now we can travel to the tip top of Mount Coronet and even find a shiny Bumblebee in the process.
Am I not supposed to go? Oh my god, that looks insane!
Upon making it to the very top, we beat up some grunts and take down 2 admins with the help from our rival. Then the evil blue-haired guy uses the god of time and space to summon Satan, who kidnaps this man. Well, time to pack everything up and hey, mommy. And of course, she wants us to jump into the portal. We enter the distortion world, where absolutely nothing makes sense. There are floating islands that move, pretty trees, and of course, blue-haired guy. Oh, also, our cybernetic ducky evolved. I don't remember when, but I figured I'd let you know before we go into this fight. He's got Houndoom in front, who gets one-shot by Gallade. Rhyperior takes a psychic, but one-shots with Stone Edge. Gyarados comes in, we send in our rubber ducky to discharge, but we die to another critical hit. I love this game. Lil Whip comes out and after a few turns, puts down Gyarados. We send in Floss for Weavile, but we get frozen, so we have to switch into Chili. But unfortunately, we get outsped and an Ice Punch puts him down. Storm comes in on the revenge kill with a Fire Blast. Last out is a Crobat who gets one shot from a Stone Edge from Rhyperior. With Cyrus defeated, we come face to face with Giratina.
But I didn't want that to be the case. Oh my god! 127! Oh my dude! They took a 10 out of 10 shiny and they made it an 11. Look at that!
We capture Shiny Satan, the complete evildoer of Pokemon, and name him Girly Tina. I then decided to go shiny hunt Uxie, but it doesn't matter because I had to reset anyways because I forgot to save him from an Azelf, and I'm taking him over Uxie any day of the week.
Oh my god! Look at that shiny, chat. Yo! That's 240 resets.
We give this gamer the name Fort Nightmares. Moving on to Route 222, we can also scoop up the purple guy from Five Nights at Freddy's, and then we pull up to the lighthouse in Sunny Shore and tell the gym leader to go do his job. After catching bro slacking on the job, we can clear out his gym trainers and challenge Volkner, the electric-type user. He leads with Jolteon, and we lead with Fort Nightmare the Azelf, who sets up Stealth Rock, and then we can switch into Jelly to set up Light Screen, and with all this setup done, we switch into Klinger, who one-shots Jolteon, Raichu, and Luxray with Earthquake. Then Electivire comes out, and we switch into Girly Tina, who one-shots with a critical hit Dragonclaw. And just like that, we've got all 8 gym badges. Jeez, that was pretty hard if you ask me. So let's start stacking up on shinies now. We've got a lot of Dupe Claws area token things to use, and some new areas to encounter, so let's rapid fire these next shinies. We can pick up a Psyduck in one of the lakes, which means every other lake surf encounter is now Dupe's Claws. So we token one of the areas to go pick up a shiny Gibble, and this guy looks sick.
Oh, we got it! Oh my god! Oh my god, I'm gonna scream and shout 1,291 encounters.
And fully evolved, he looks even better. But I mean, compared to the original, the bar's kinda on the floor. We also pick up a shiny Scyther that looks absolutely beautiful in this shade of blue. We instantly evolve my guy into Caesar since the metal coat acts as a stone evolution in this game. We redeem ourselves by going back and catching a previously failed shiny Houndour and it instantly evolve it into Houndoom. And finally, we go and scoop up the Electrizer to evolve our Freddy Fartbear guy in an Electivire. And with all that preparation done, we can go challenge the Elite Four, some of the most elite trainers across the Sinnoh region. First up is Aaron, who leads with the Onmega as we lead with Houndoom, who uses Flamethrower, one-shotting it. Then out comes Heracross, Flamethrower again, one-shot. Vespiquen comes out. Oh, yeah, she's dead too. Azor, one-shot. Drapion was a nice touch. Houndoom can't one-shot that, but Rhyperior can with Earthquake. So much for the most elite trainers. Next up, Bertha the ground-type user. RPG the Golduck is our lead, who can take out Wishcash with 2 Surfs. And fun fact, RPG proceeds to spam Tidal Wave after Tidal Wave against all of Bertha's Pokemon, one-shotting them all. That's not the only feat RPG gets. The next Elite Four member, Flint, who is a Fire-type user, I'm sure you can see where this is going, had his first 3 Pokemon, Houndoom, Infernape, and Rapidash, all one-shot by Surf. But his Magmortar was able to survive on just 1 HP and fired off a heavy-hitting Thunderbolt, but it wasn't enough to knock out, and Golduck picks up yet another kill. However, Flint's last Pokemon, Flareon, was put against Rhyperior, who fell to a single Earthquake. The final Elite Four member is Lucian, and I respect the hell out of this goat for rocking Psychic types, as that's my favorite Pokemon type, but that doesn't mean they don't have their weaknesses. He leads Mr. Mime, and we have Houndoom one-shot with a Dark Pulse. Gallade comes out, and we switch into Azelf, who takes a Stone Edge and fires off an extra sensory the next turn. But we get dropped down to red, so we switch into Girly Tina and one-shot with a Dragon Claw. Espeon gets sent out, but also gets one shot from a Shadow Force. Surprisingly, Bronzong is able to take a Shadow Force relatively well, but it just used Calm Mind over and over again, so we could take it out the following turn, and his last Pokemon, Alakazam, also falls to a Shadow Force. Not much of a challenge yet, but they tend to always save the best for last, as now we have to take on the infamous Cynthia. We lead Rhyperior into her Spiritomb, and almost one-shot it with an Earthquake, but we can take a Shadow Ball really well, and after burning a full Restore and firing off another Earthquake, she switches into Togekiss, who's immune to our next attack. Togekiss outspeeds and gets a crit Water Pulse, taking down Klinger. I want to know how many Pokemon died to a crit this playthrough. I'm just kind of curious. Azelf comes out and sets up Stealth Rocks before taking down big hit from Air Slash, so we switch into Electivire and one-shot with a Thunder Punch. Out comes Garchomp, Cynthia's ace, and a menace to our team. I want to keep Hop Rocks the Electivire alive, so we switch into Golduck, who's our most expendable team member, and he's able to fire off one last Surf, doing half, and triggering Garchomp's Berry, before also going down. You did great, friend. I switch back into Azelf, who gets a bit more damage with extra sensory, bringing it down to a third of its HP, but it falls to a Dragon Rush too. This is when I decided enough was enough, and it was time to bring out the big guns. Girly Tina, a name that strikes fear into the heart of any opponent who even dares hear it. Dragon Claw one-shots Garchomp. An injured Spiritomb comes back out, and Cynthia's full restore wasn't enough to save this ghost from certain death, because 2 Dragon Claws also takes it out. Lucario is her next Pokemon, and although it does resist all of our moves and no Shadow Ball, it doesn't do a lot of damage. I tried to get an Omni Boost from the Omnis Wind, but we got a critical hit instead, so I fire off 2 more Dragon Claws, which does the job, taking it out with a crit. Damn, that feels great. My Loda comes out, and I know this thing has Ice Beam, but I'd rather stay in until Girly Tina cannot fight anymore. So we click Shadow Force, dodge the first Ice Beam, and fire off a powerful attack doing about 70%. However, Girly Tina was actually able to take another Ice Beam, and as Cynthia uses her last full restore, Dragon Claw does exactly half, which means it falls next turn. Her last Pokemon is Roserade, but she just got one shot by Dragon Claw. I'm gonna keep it a buck. And just like that, we've beaten Cynthia and become the champion of the Sinnoh region using only custom shiny Pokemon. Though we did have quite a bit of deaths, chat and I had a blast playing through this game. If you'd like to play it for yourself, I have linked to the creator's Discord in the description, which I strongly suggest you go check out. And on the topic of checking things out, this entire video was live streamed over on my Twitch, so if you want to see these videos live before they come out, be sure to stop by. And with that being said, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and both YouTube and I think you'll like the video on screen, so why not check it out? Go on, click the video. There's nothing left.